Yeah, is my screen visible? One of you just confirm me.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Give me 1 minute. I will just share again. Yeah, I think it should be visible now.
No, sir.
No. And now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Yeah. With respect to Python syntax. Now, why do we require syntax? Can anyone tell me what do you mean by syntax? I mean, I'm exactly talking with respect to generalized syntax for any programming language. Okay. Of course, syntax means with respect to keywords, with respect to, I mean, content of any programming language, the syntax will vary with respect to all the programming language. It means C has got its own syntax, C++ it has got its own syntax. Likewise for other remaining programming language. Correct? Now, why do we need syntax in general? Why do we need syntax? Yes, anyone?
So to make program run effectively
To make program run effectively. Okay.
without any errors.
Uh, okay. Then any other answer? Can anyone give other answer? Why we need syntax? Hmm. Am I audible? See, syntax will give you a structure, a structured programming language. Am I correct? It means if I have to follow a syntax, if I follow a syntax, it means the program looks neat. It will be in a readable form. Correct? Now, to support with syntax, we have certain rules over here. Okay. Now, of course, with respect to C or C++, there we find parenthesis. I mean, what to call a function, of course, we use smaller brackets. Correct. Now, if I use a loops, I will usually go with what? The flower brackets. Correct. Now, we don't have to use such flower brackets in Python. Okay. Now, one of the main major component in Python to support with syntax will be indentation. Okay. Now we don't use such brackets. Okay. Now what else? Now how will programming language come to know where it starts and where it ends? Now that is a problem here. Okay. For example, now I hope you all know what is exactly an indentation. What is an indentation? Anyone? Anyone knows what is an indentation? Please be interactive. All should answer. I don't need idle class. Yeah, what do you mean by indentation? All of you have done documentation. I mean, all of you have used MS Word and all. What do you mean by indentation?
Space at the beginning.
Yeah, there should be space for all the paragraph.
At the
Correct? I
beginning.
mean, yeah, ultimately, first line will be with some tab, followed by all the below lines will be in one particular straight line. Correct? Such thing we usually call it as an indentation. The same thing we are going to follow in Python. Okay, we don't use such brackets. I mean, if I am using for loop, okay. Now, usually in C or C++, how is it? If I write for here, correct? Now it starts with bracket and I have to end that bracket. Correct? No matter this opening brace can be written followed by for, and I have to end it somewhere here. It means I can end here also. It means we have a definite structure or definite syntax to write for loop in C or C++ like this. But we do not use such brackets. We don't use floor brackets. Just to show where any part of code starts and any part of the code ends respectively. Correct? Now this is completely followed with indentation. Correct? Now what is this indentation? It refers to the spaces at the beginning of a code line. Means for every beginning there we have to leave some space. Okay. Now just to here the intention here is it should be readable. That's all. Okay. Now I'll just write one simple small program with respect to Python to support with indentation. Now what is that? See, I will write if, okay, with one condition, and this whatever the small bracket here I have written, this is again optional in Python. Okay, if for example 5 greater than 2, is it visible? I'm sorry, if it is not clear, please I will read it. Yeah, the digital pad is used by some other faculty, so I'm using it in Notepad. Okay. Later, after 15 or 20 minutes, I will get that. I will be using that Notepad. Okay. For another 15 minutes, please bear with this paint. Okay. I'm sorry for it. Now, if 5 greater than 2, and this 5 greater than 2 can be written within the parenthesis, or I can ignore it. Okay. In Python, it supports. Now usually in C, what we do? We start with a flower bracket and we end it. Now in Python, we don't do it. Now immediately followed by if, you leaving some 1 or 2 spaces, or usually 2 spaces, I write the next line. Clear? Now in C again, I will repeat, if we are having only one line, we usually omit the parenthesis. Okay. If there are multiple lines, now what do? We have to write parenthesis in C or C, but that thing should not be done in Python. Okay. Now how is it? See, if I start the first statement, that is if with condition here, the content of this if should be left with some space and I have to start coding. I hope I am clear. Okay. If this line, if I start here, okay, that is wrong. It means this statement will no longer be a part of this if. Now, just to ensure that these lines are a part of if loop, then I have to indent this. Okay. Now it means I can omit such parentheses over here, and this Python doesn't support these braces or flower brackets. So this we will be calling as indentation. Now next thing. Now what do I do? If I write here, actually if is containing 4 lines. Clear? Now the first line I will just write. I will start from here. Now the second line of if, I start from here. Now the second line will not be considered as a part of if. It means if ends here only. It is by default understood. I hope I am clear. Any doubts over here? Indent Python should follow indentation. It means it won't be using the flower brackets. Based on the indentation itself, the Python language will default understands this is a part of this loop based on the indentation. So no parentheses are being used over here. Okay. Now suppose if I have a condition here, it means I have to start after leaving some tabs, then I have to start. Then only these number of lines belong to this particular loop. Okay. Now again I repeat, if I write this second line of this if loop from here, okay, Now this line will not be a part of this if. It means if starts here and ends here on. I mean only one line will be a part of this if. Similarly, even for loop. Okay. Now usually what happens in for loop, again we will be using parenthesis. Of course, for has got its own three things. One, initialization, condition, then increment or decrement. That will be there. Apart from that, we used to have such parenthesis. Now we won't use such. Again, it will be followed by indentation. Same thing what I just told with respect to if, that will work here. Now that is indentation. Any doubts here? It means we should be very much clear, specific in writing the component of any particular loop. If we miss the indentation of any of the lines of any of the loops, then that particular line will be out of that loop. Okay, there we should take care. Okay, so this is what Python indentation. So Python will be using indentation just to indicate a block of code. Okay, now that block of code should be maintained in a proper margin. I should leave certain space, then I have to start. Then only that block of code I will be calling it as indentation. Okay, next thing. Now, okay, now you may ask me if, yeah, what I had shown, what I just told, if I write here, okay, immediately first statement of if I write here, now what error we may get? Anyone? What error we may get?
Syntax error.
Syntax error, simple. Correct? It means only if condition I have, there is nothing to execute under that loop. So we will be getting indentation error. To be specific, we will be getting indentation error. Okay? Expected and indented block. Such error message we get. Now that particular type of error we usually call as syntax error. Okay? It means I am not following a definite structure here. It means I am not following a syntax. Correct? Now such syntax error we usually call it here as indentation error. Okay? Next time. Now, any doubts in Python indentation? If anyone has any doubt in Python indentation, please ask. Yeah. Otherwise, I will continue. Anyone has any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay, fine. I will just download and then. Yeah. So next we will move with what the next part, that is variables. Now, what is a variable? What do you mean by a variable? Why do we need it? How will we create it? Where will we create it? Yeah, that all we'll see today. Okay, now what exactly is a variable? Anyone? What is a variable? What do you mean by a variable?
So temporary storage space.
Variables are nothing but what? These are temporarily storing space. Okay, then any other answer? Why do we need variables? Or when these variables are created?
When we want to assign some values or store some values.
Yeah, very good. It means usually what in C we do, int x, then in the next line we write x equal to 5 or something. Or we can also do it in a single line as int x equal to 5. Correct? Now usually that we have done in C or C++. Correct? Now how can I declare or how can I create a variable in Python? It means here variables are created when we assign a value to it. Clear? But I should know what type of variable is this. Correct? Now what type of variable means? Can anyone tell me what do you mean by what type of variable?
Data type.
Very good, data type, 100%. It means all the variables which I am going to create should be categorized with respect to what type of data it has to store in or store in that particular variable. Okay. Now that is defined by what? The term data type. Now what is data type? As I just mentioned, what the different type of data I want to use in my program or to store in database, that will be defined by different types of data types. Means it is self-explanatory. Data types. What type of data I am going to work with? Simple. Now can you tell me which are all
Integer,
those? Yeah. Int.
integer, floatings, characters,
Yes. Int, float, char,
char,
string,
char,
char, string. Then which are all the other?
derived, sir, array, pointer,
Derived we have
array, pointer, structures,
So integer, complex, and float.
void, void,
complex, float. Okay. Now basically data types are divided into 2 to 3 main types. Now, can you give me those which are the main headings of what data?
basic data types are derived and void data types.
Yeah, you are going beyond. I am just asking the basic.
Int, char and float, sir.
Yeah, those are basic. Int, char, and float. Correct. 1 minute.
Sir, you are not audible, sir.
Sir, you are not audible, sir.
Yeah, am I audible now? Am I
Yes,
audible?
sir.
You would have told me, right? Earlier only.
We told, sir.
Okay. I didn't listen. It was not audible from your end. Okay. Anyway, where I had stopped?
From 15 minutes, it's not audible only, sir.
Oh, now you are telling them. You would have told me that time only, na? Okay. Anyway, I'm sorry. Till where you listened? I covered a lot. Anyway, I will repeat it. Yeah, where I stopped? I mean, till where you heard?
Data types, sir.
Data types. Okay, what I told in data types, different data, I mean classification, did you hear? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, what are those different data types? Yeah, can anyone of you tell? Which are those different data types?
Float, integer, and complex.
No, no, main classification I am asking. Okay, let me repeat. Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't know how it got muted. I got a call from today, madam. Later it got mute, I guess. Didn't check it. Okay, anyway, I'm really sorry for it. Okay, the main classification with respect to data types is basic data type, derived data type, enumeration data type, and void data type. So one of you have already told this. Okay. Now under these again we have what sub data types under these main data types. Okay, basic means we will be having int, char, float, and double. Yes, you please be what always you remember these main classification first. Then those will be having their own individual data types. Okay, first. So basic data type will be having int, char, float, double. Next, derived data type will be having array, pointer, structure, union. Next, enumeration data type will have enum. Next, void data type will have void. Okay, these are the main 4 classification under which we have again their own data types. Fine. Okay. Now we will be using these individually in our programs later. Okay. Now with respect to data types, it's clear. Now how we just studied main classification, right? Similarly, we have Python has got its own built-in data types. Okay, now what are those built-in data types? The first one is text type. In text type, we have string. It means it always plays with a combination of alphabets or letters. Okay. Next is numeric types. In numeric types, what we have? Int, float, complex. Next, sequence types. In sequence types, what we have? List, tuple, range. In mapping, we have dictionaries. In set type, we have set, frozen set. Next, in Boolean type, we have bool. Then in binary data type, we have bytes, byte array, and memory web. Okay, I just repeat. The different data types in Python are text type, numeric type, sequence type, mapping type, set type, Boolean type, and binary type. Okay, these are around 6 to 7 different data types which are used in Python. Okay, yeah. Now, usually in C or C++, what we do, if I want to take an input, or if I want to declare a variable, what usually we do? We usually go with int x equal to 5. But the same thing can be done, but we can also ignore it. Now, how to ignore? Or if I will give you a data and I want to know what type of data is. Okay, it means I will be checking the data is of what kind or of what data type. And now to do it, now what we will be doing, we have a function called type function, type. For example, what do? I will take, I had already written here, yeah, x equal to 5. Is it visible? Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, x equal to 5. Now I want to know what type of data is this. 5 is what? What type of data? Okay. Now to know what type of data, I have an inbuilt function called type. Now what do? I pass a variable or I pass an argument for this inbuilt function called type. Now where this 5 is stored in x, and this x I will be providing here as an argument. So this x is an argument for this type.
Yes, sir.
Inbuilt function, correct? Now if I just omit this print, okay, now that data will not be printed. Okay, only the compiler or interpreter will come to know what type of data is, but the end user will not come to know. Just to know, for an end user, I have to display it. Correct? Now just to display it, I am using a print function. That's all. Okay, x equal to 5, print of type of x. If I write and execute, what the output will I get? Class int. We will be getting an output as class int. Okay. Now, this is how I will be getting an output for this class. And now what do? I change this value x equal to 5.2. Yeah, what will be the output now?
Float.
Float.
Class, yeah, very good. Class float. It means here what thing to know here is type is the function which will give me what type of data I am storing in this variable. Okay. Now these all will come under data types. What type of data I am using in my program or I am working with. Okay. Next, I will give you value associated with x, you need to tell me. Okay. Now x equal to hello. What will be the output?
String.
Very good. Or tell me specifically. Specifically means, of course, string. How string is denoted in programming language? That way.
str.
str. Very good. Correct. Next. X equal to 20.
Int.
That's all. X equal to 20.5.
Float.
Float. X equal to 1j. Equal to 1j.
Complex.
Yes? Complex.
Complex.
Very good. Yeah. Complex is a data type which will come under complex part. Yes or no? No. Numeric type. Okay. Please do remember int, float, complex. These three will come under main data type, that is numeric data type. Okay. In numeric data type, we have these three: int, float, and complex. Okay. So 1j will come under complex numeric data type. Okay. Next. X equal to true.
Boolean.
Boolean or bool. Okay. Next. X equal to B with within double quotes hello. Anyone? I will just write it. Yeah. X equal to B hello. What type of data it may be?
Text.
Text? No. See, what does this B stand for? What does this B stands for? This B. Such thing you have done in HTL. Do you remember?
Bytes.
Very good. It is a bytes. Okay.
Byte.
Yeah. This will be a data type called bytes.
Byte array.
Yeah. Bytes. Only bytes, not byte array. Why not array? There is a single value. Hello. Okay. Now, if I specify a size over there, then I will be calling it as byte array. For example, x equal to byte array of 5. Now I can call that this is a byte array. When I have a single value with b, it will be of data type byte. Now, yeah, just to know this, I will just declare this x equal to like this. Then print of type of x. What will be the output? What will be the output? What will be the output?
Hello.
Will it be hello? Think. I will just rewrite it. I will rewrite it. What is that is x equal to b hello. Okay. Now print type of x. What will be the output? Yes, Netra.
String.
Sorry.
String.
String. How will it be string? Think and
Sir,
answer.
hello is
No.
hello.
No. Wrong. See what I have written. Understand it first. What I am printing. Before this, I had used this example x equal to 5. Print, correct? Print of type of x. I had written. What was the output there?
Class int.
Yes, class int, correct? Now, same statement I have written here. Any change here? Here 5 was the value. Similarly, this is the value here. Am I printing the value? What I told here, did you tell me the output here as 5? No, right? No, right. What you told me what type of 5 is. I mean, what type of data the 5 is. What type of data the 5 is? It is an integer. Now, how you will tell that this is int? The type function will tell me that. Correct? It means type will give me what type of data it is. Correct? Now, what type of data it is? I'm not printing hello here. Don't mistake here. If I write it as print of x, then hello will be printed. Don't get confused here. I am using a function here, type.
String.
Still, is it a string? Now, what you told, it is a byte, right? What does this
Bytes,
stand?
sir.
Yeah, class bytes. Simple. Okay. Next. Now, what do I omit this b? Now, tell me. What will be the output? X equal
Class
to
string.
class
Strings, sir.
string. That's all. Okay. Fine. That is correct. So, yeah, now we'll see one more example. X equal to bool of 5. I will just write it. X equal to bool of 5.
Boolean.
Think. X equal to bool of 5. What will be the output? Any confusion here? Anything is worried or worrying you here? Okay, let me clear you first. Now, what is this bool? What will be the two outputs of bool?
True or false?
True or false, correct? Now this bool function is expecting one argument or number of arguments. Okay, now I am providing it. Correct? Now whether it will be true or false.
True.
True. Correct? Yeah. Now what do I do? Print of type of x. Now you tell me the output.
Class bool.
Class, yes, bool. Very good. Correct? See, no matter the value, whatever is here. Correct? Now, what type of data I am using, I am already specifying here. Bool. So that type of data will be printed here, not 5. Please be clear here. Okay. Such type of questions are usually asked in interviews, just to confuse. Of course, may not be confusing, but still. Okay. Any doubts here? Any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay. Now I will give you one more example. X equal to int of 2.5 print type of x.
Class int.
Class
Int.
ink then answer. Yeah, anyone?
Int two,
Yes.
two,
Yes,
two, sir.
2, of course. 2 will be printed, and also I need the type of data.
Class int.
Class int. Correct. Now where this 0.5 gone?
Sir, conversion.
Yeah, there will be a type conversion. Of course, the input what I am providing is float, but this float is by default converted to integer based on this data type int. Okay, so only 2 will be printed, then class of type int. Okay, similarly the earlier program, what was that earlier program with respect to bool? Correct. Now what was that? X equal to bool of y. Now what was printed? So print of type of x. Correct. Now what was the output here I told? Yes. What will be
Bool.
printed?
Bool.
Only bool is printed, or even phi is printed, or what is printed? I hope you are following me. Correct.
Yes, sir.
Oh, what is the output here? I have just written. Just tell me again.
Class bool.
Phi and
Whether
phi.
phi is printed?
No, sir.
What
Both.
is printed?
True.
Yeah, true followed by last bool. So that is printed. Okay, it is not phi. Again, I am repeating why, because of this confusion. The phi will not be printed. It means bool is passed with certain variable or value over here. So that will be printed first. Then its data type will be printed. Please try to understand this. First, what the value is, I mean what type of value is, that will be printed, then followed by the data. Now what do? I just omit this phi. Okay, I hope you got me. Yes,
False.
or yes. What will be the output here? I will just write it. X equal to bool with null, with no values. Correct. Next, print of type of x. Now tell me the output. Now tell me the output.
False. False. Class
Yeah.
bool.
False followed by class bool. Okay, this bool will be like. Okay, I hope now all are familiar with the data types, how to know what type of data and how to print the data. Correct? Any doubts till now? If you have any doubts, please ask. Any doubt? Okay, one more example I will take. One more example will be like this. X equal to float of 2 print type of x. What will be the output?
Class float.
Hey, tell me all the output. Complete output you need to tell. Only you told type of data. Correct?
Sir,
X equal to
2.00 class float.
sorry, tell again.
2.00 class float.
2.0 class float.
Float.
Simple. Correct? This is how it prints. Okay. Now, any doubts in data types? Any doubts in data types? If anyone has any doubts, please ask.
No, sir.
Remaining, what others are doing? Aishwarya, Jannat, if you are inactive, I will
Yes, sir,
just
no, sir.
that's all. Anirudh, Govind, Kirti, Mangal, Manisha, Misbah, Netra, Piyusha, Poojas, Pushpam, Rahul, Sharath, Shreya, Priya, Vinayak, Saubhagya, Sushma, Tanjim, Tejaswini, Triveni, Varshini. No one is active except one or two.
No, sir, we are answering.
No, sir.
Hmm?
We are answering, sir.
Who is answering? Only Netra, Harshada. Only I heard from those.
Sir, even I'm answering, sir, Shri
Yeah,
Priya.
you were Sri Priya also. So what about others?
Sir, network is
Okay, let me continue with the next concept, Python variables. Okay, now what these variables are? Variables are containers. And these will be storing some data values in it. Now we understood I can declare a variable with any data type. Okay? Now I studied what different types of data I can hold or I can store. Correct? Now we'll create a variables. Okay. Next. Now Python it has no command to declare a variable. Correct? What do I mean by Python? It has no command for declaring a variable. What do I mean by?
So, like, we don't declare int and something.
Yeah, int and something. What is it? Something?
Like variable name.
Yeah, int x then x equal to 5. No, or int x equal to 5. We don't do such thing in Python. Usually we usually Python will omit such duplication here. Okay. Now what usually I just directly write it as, I will just mention here, means I don't duplicate the things here like int x then x equal to 5. No, instead of this what do I do? X equal to 5. That's all. Python internally or by default it understands this as integer data type. No need to no need to declare a variable saying that this is it. No. Okay. A variable is created once we assign a value to it. Okay. So this is what it happens here. X equal to 5 means hmm, a variable is created, then a value is also assigned, provided it has got its own data type. Okay. See, so much of things is reduced here in Python. But if I do the same thing in C or C++, there will get an error. I hope I am clear. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that is why we call Python as advanced programming language because of this. Not only this, there are so many such features. Okay. Now, similarly, how I have mentioned as x equal to 5. Similarly, what do I do? Even it works with string y equal to something, dog. It means no need to declare string y, then y equal to value. No. I will be just declaring or assigning a value to a variable. If I just execute this statement, 2 to 3 things will happen here. One, y will be created. Next, a value will be assigned. Correct. Next, one more thing. What is one more thing? A data type will be defined here. The 2 to 3 things will happen automatically in Python. Okay. Now, if I want to get the output print of x, then print of y, what will be the output? Anyone? What will be the output here?
X equal to 5.
Value of x and y.
Only phi, then dog will be printed. Correct? Okay. Now tell me the output. What will be the output now? What I have changed? Print x. X is within double quotes. Now what will be the output?
X.
Yeah. Instead of phi, it will be printing x. Here. Any change here?
Dog.
Oh,
No,
as
sir.
it is. Okay. Now what do? I put y in single quotes. Now
Y.
y.
Yes, sir. Y will be printed.
I will print it. Correct. It is. It since y is equal to John. Correct. Now what I have done? Y I have put it in a single quote. So y will be printed. If I remove this single quote, John will be printed. Okay. Now one thing I will tell you, because already I had experienced this, so I am telling it. So when I write like this, one second, I will show you. Yeah. What is y equal to? It is dog. Correct. Now I am writing this dog in single quote. Please understand this. Many go wrong here. Not many, few. Since I have experienced, so I am telling. What I am trying to tell here is y equal to within single quotes dog. Okay. Now what I write? Print within single quotes y. Now what will be the output?
Y only, sir.
Y will be the output. Correct. But many of what output I got in the earlier was I was getting output as D. It means from student. I don't know how D will be printed here. Correct. Don't mistaken here. Here. Now what usually single quotes tell is single quotes will usually go with single character. Correct. No, that is the wrong conception. So single quote or double quote will always refer a string. So since this dog is in single quote, the first letter is D. So considering single quotes, so only D is printed. No, wrong. Okay, don't do this mistake. Okay, I have experienced this, so I am just telling this. Okay, it is always single quotes or double quotes. It will always refer you. Okay, but still single and double quotes have got their own differences. Can anyone tell me difference between single quote and double quote? Can anyone tell me? Yes. Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What does single quote mark and double quote mark will tell you? Okay. Let me tell you. The single quotes, these will be used for identifiers. Okay. Identifiers means what are identifiers? This already studied in basic of C. Identifiers, keywords, reserved words. Correct. Usually single quotes, they behave like an identifier. Okay. and double quotation will be used for text. And next, single quote, again they can be used for some queries, SQL queries, and even it could be used for regular expressions. Okay, that we will be studying further. Now don't worry about those regular expressions, SQL queries and all. But one thing, just remember, single quotes are used for identifiers and double quotes are usually used for text. ಓ ಹಳೆಯದೇನು? ಓಕೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಆಯ್ತಾ? Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, got the difference between single quotes and double quotes. Single quotes will be used for identifiers or which behaves like identifier. There it is used. Double quotes usually for text. Then to continue, single quotes will be usually used for some SQL queries and all, and double quotes will be used just to represent a string. Okay. So now, okay, let me stop here. We'll continue in the next class. If you have any doubts, you can ask. If you have any doubts, you can ask me, or is it comfortable to teach me like this in online, or you need any changes? Please suggest me.
Comfortable, sir.
Comfortable. Okay, I need from all, or any changes you need.
No, sir, it's okay.
It is okay. Are you sure?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Fine. Yeah, any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Then we'll end. We'll meet in the next class. So in the next class, we'll study the further part like expressions, statements, and all. Okay, again basics. Just go through those basics and come. Okay, like expressions, then statements, then again remaining part of variables. So that we will do in the next class. Okay. Till I end.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.